Good evening, I'm Willard Cheng, sitting in for Pinky Web. Tonight, we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. Lawmakers have ratified the Bicameral Conference Committee report on the 2026 proposed national budget. Members of the BICAM say next year's budget has enough safeguards to ensure people's money will be disbursed properly. Let's get on point with Negros Occidental 3rd District Representative Javier Miguel Javi Benitez. And he's joining us via Zoom. Good evening, sir, and thank you for your time.
Good evening, Sir Willard, and thank you so much for having me. Good evening din sa lahat ng viewers ng DNR News Channel. At gusto ko rin magsabi ng pasalamat at pasensya. Pasalamat dahil mukhang lagi kami, ako at ang aking pamilya sa inyong channel ang DNR News Channel. And pasensya na rin dahil alam kong some of you have been asking for an interview, pero ngayon lang ako first time nakapag-interview with Billionaire News Channel. So, it's an honor. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat po sa oras. Sir, lightning fast passage today over at the House of the Conference Committee report on the proposed 2026 budget. Did you have time to scrutinize it before voting for its ratification?
So, Sir Willard, I was fortunate to be part of the bicameral conference committee as one of the conferencees. So we have been discussing about the disagreeing provisions throughout the 5 days that we've been discussing it. They were able to send us soft copies right after. And so today, na-ratify na po ang ating 2026 General Appropriations Bill, House Bill 4058. And we are glad to have passed it and looking forward to the President and his team going through it. They've been saying they need a week. So we're looking at January 5 for the signing of the President.
Critics like the Bagong Alyansang Makabayan, Kong Javi, say there's not much time to review the budget that's still riddled with alleged irregularities. What do you tell them and your colleagues from the minority bloc who were not able to speak out and voice their explanation of their opposition to the budget?
I think with this budget, we know that it is a collegiate effort. We know that we have been discussing this from the start of the budgeting process up until the ratification. What we want is no longer any reenactment of the budget, because we know that delays will only cause drop in our GDP. But I know that we are able to always reach out from the majority to the minority. And marami pa tong opportunity in terms of the implementation of it. We are here to prioritize the budget and to give our safeguards and provisions. But it is also in the implementation that we as a people and should be vigilant on its on the projects and implementation.
Tell us, sir, what's good about next year's budget? And speaking about the safeguards, do you agree with Senator Gatchalian saying that there are enough safeguards to ensure that the people's money will not be politicized this time?
You know, we believe that there are general provisions and special provisions that have more safeguards compared to that of the last and the other budgets. Pero Sir Willard, alam po natin na kailangan bantayan pa rin talaga. Dahil may mga posible na mga weaknesses pa rin. No, hindi pa naman ito ang perfect, but we know that we are always going to be open to suggestions as this is the most transparent bicam because it's the first time that it's been live streamed. But when we talk about safeguards, and I think yun yung sinasabi ni Senator Win Gatchalian, is this is a ghost project killer of a provision because while we had the DPWH budget and other budgets that also include for infrastructure. There is now geotagging and the specific coordinates to ensure that every peso will build a real road, real bridge, real system, so that we can ensure that it will go to a proper project. No, wala nang magiging ghost na infrastructure sa special provision na ito. So kailangan bantayan ng ating community.
You mentioned, Kong Javi, of potential weaknesses in the budget and possibly in the project implementation. Top of mind, sir, can you elaborate? Ano yung mga weaknesses na dapat bantayan ng taong bayan?
Kailangan pa rin bantayan, Sir Willard. Of course, when we go into the bidding process, kailangan bantayan kung maayos ba ito na-implement, meaning ng mga agencies natin. As a lawmaker, we are going to make sure that there's proper oversight. But certainly, ang komunidad at ang taong bayan ang dapat magbusisi sa kanilang mga local communities so that kahit sa anong ahensya or departamento, may masusuri ang ating taong bayan.
And your colleague from Navotas, Congressman Toby Tiangco, wants a full disclosure of allocation. Same call from Right to Know, Right Now Coalition for DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon to immediately release the list of allocables and non-allocables, so-called, from 2016 to 2025. Your take on that?
So Willard, itong mga allocables and non-allocables, when we talk about the files, sure, I think it is with the DPWH as it is their responsibility to handle these files. No? Maraming nangyayari na ngayon na nagsisilabasan kung ano ang totoo at ang hindi. No? So what we have to ensure that these are authenticated, these are real, in the spirit of transparency. No? Pero ang gusto natin is that may not only transparency but may accountability kung may mahanapan man na may nakasala dito. No? So I believe that we should keep on with the pressure sa ating Department of Justice and ang Ombudsman because at the end of the day, it is they who can implement the rule of law and to ensure that it is accountable sa nangyayari ng mga issues ngayon.
Kung Javi, suportado ho ba ninyo ang pagpasa ng proposed bill establishing the Independent People's Commission to investigate possible corruption in infra projects?
Yes, I think this is a good move. Importante na may sinasabi nating teeth ang Independent Commission. No? So I'm also in support to have that Independent Commission with strengthened powers. No? Dahil ang ating ICI ngayon needs more empowerment in terms of potential enforcements. But I also believe that with the Department of Justice and Ombudsman, that there will be continued justice in the weeks and months to come.
We'll take a short break, Kong Javi, and we'll continue our discussion with Negros Occidental 3rd District Representative Javier Miguel, Javi Benitez, when we return. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back, and still with us, Negros Occidental 3rd District Congressman Javier Miguel, Javi Benitez. Kong Javi, the MyFIP got a bigger budget from the bicam, and some are concerned over its vulnerability to political patronage. Ano po ang ginawang safeguards ng bicam para hindi na po ito magamit ng mga politiko? Will still there be a system of issuing guarantee letters from politicians and from offices of lawmakers like yourself?
Sir Willard, I think importante dito ay ang guarantee letters is from the DOH agencies themselves. Ang gusto po natin, as what I've mentioned and manifested during the bicameral conference, is that we need to get into an ideal system na wala ng tao ang kailangan magmakaawa sa isang politiko. And we should go from a patronage system to an institutionalized system na talagang pagdating ng isang pasyente sa isang ospital, hindi na nila kailangan mag-isip kung paano bayaran, no? At kung sinong politiko ang puntahan. While we understand that need, hindi pa completely naayos ang ating insurance system. No? So we also acknowledge that, and I think this is a transitionary phase na gusto natin na mapunta sa ganong sistema. But what we need to do is protect our patients, fix the system, and make sure that it's accessible to everyone. No? So in my personal experience with my IFIP, no, sa akin distrito, we don't choose. Hindi po kami pumipili. We always present kung sino ang mga nabibigyan. Pero at the end of the day, kulang pa rin po talaga. No? So there are gaps in the system that we need to add more funding. Dahil kung may limited resource, doon po ang pagpipili because lahat po may need. So in the future, may we get to a system na hindi lang ang universal free college tuition law is fully enacted, but we may also have the full implementation of the universal healthcare law.
So Kong Javi, sa ilalim ng 2026 budget, kapag may kumatok sa inyong opisina at humingi ng tulong para sa kanilang pangangailangang medikal, mayroon ho ba kayong ilalabas pa rin na guarantee letter sa hihingi?
I think for the 2026 ay napupunta na sa hospitals, no? Diretso na po yun. Nakadepende na po sa guidelines na gagawin ng Department of Health. That is what we put in that special provision na ang DOH ang gagawa ng guidelines. So it is up to them. It is how they want to implement it. But for us, we shouldn't apologize for helping people dahil yun nga po yung nangyayari on the ground ay pupunta sa mga elected officials katulad ko. And so we always need to refer them to the right hospitals.
Your colleague from the minority, ACT Teachers Party List, Congressman Antonio Tino, is saying that President Bongbong Marcos, former Executive Secretary Bersamin, and former Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan, as well as former Budget Secretary Pangandaman, should be among the big fish that should be held accountable for the flood control scandal. Do you agree?
I believe we should let the institutions do the work, and wherever the evidence leads, that's where it should go.
And over on the developments in the ICI and with more resignations from ICI members, should the ICI stay on or just allow the Ombudsman or other government agencies to investigate possible corruption in infra projects?
Sir Willard, yun nga yung sinasabi po nila dahil kung mag-isa lang si chair, paano po magkaka-quorum? No? So, kailangan either i-replace or i-abolish because it seems from the onset ay transitionary po ito. That means gathering evidence and giving it to the Ombudsman. Now that they have submitted the work, I believe that ang hinahanap pa rin at ng taong bayan ay sino ang mananagot dito. So I think the ball is in the court of the Department of Justice and the Ombudsman. But I believe that if we do pass this law, ang ICI that is more empowered, that will always look into our infrastructure kung may mga anomalya ba. And I think I'm in support of that. So simultaneously, kailangan po na mag-transition and we should let the institutions do the work.
We're less than halfway through President Bongbong Marcos's term, and with the 2028 elections looming as well, do you anticipate shifts in political alliances or rivalries within the House, and how can this affect legislative priorities?
We want to ensure that Congress is on top of the work. We should always be united and have a steady hand in terms of delivering service for the people. Yan po ang pinaka-importante. We should not look at personalities. We should look at how we can strengthen our reforms for our long-term ng ating development sa ating bansa. When we look at the political side, sa dami nangyayari, this is what I say to my fellow lawmakers also is, hindi pa natin yan talagang nakikita dahil napakaaga pa. We should be focusing on our work. In every presidential cycle, nakikita po natin na it's usually a year before, even less than a year before, na nakita natin na talagang alignment or a front runner for the next elections. No? So para sa akin, maaga pa, we should be focusing on the work dahil ang daming pang kailangan gawin.
A December Pulse Asia survey shows, Kong Javi, that majority of Filipino adults support the immediate passage of a law banning political dynasties and finally have an enabling law. Do you think that this is needed and will this prosper? What's your position on this?
So Willard, that is right. No? The public looks into establishing an enabling law against dynasties. No? It seems that it's been 38 years since the 1987 Constitution, Article 2, Section 28, saying that dynasties are harmful and should not be concentrated in a few families. No? So I believe that it is something that we should take a look at. Gusto ng tao ito, at I believe ang leadership has also said that they are in favor of an anti-political dynasty. We need to take a look at this as one of a potential solution, no? But it is I want to say that might be an oversimplification of the problem. Just because we may, and hopefully it passes. There's a reason why in 38 years hindi pa napasa. Baka dahil hindi mapasa ito sa Congress or Senate. But I'm in favor of this because even if it means that lawmakers have to limit their powers, no? I think what's important is that we should elect competent leaders for our country. And in the same manner, no, that we should look at competence, qualifications. We should look at campaign reform. We should look at electoral reform. No, so yun ang mga importante, hindi lamang just because of a last name. No? So I believe that ang electorate natin should be given the right access to information. It should be transparent, what we are doing, but we need to do more of that. No? Kailangan din natin ibigay ang proper information sa ating mga kababayan para makapagpili sila ng leader na makita nila with the right track record, with the right platform. And in the same manner, Sir Willard, I know that we are on a Billionaire News channel. Alam ko rin not only in the public sector, meron din po sa private sector that there's a certain sense of, for my familial din po na succession. But I know that several successful companies have their own charter in a way na maging proper ang succession planning na ito. They have to work outside the company first. They have to have a certain level of education. So at the end of the day, I think it's a public trust. No? It's a trust that you are capable of leading that in that position.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have with Negros Occidental 3rd District Representative Javier Miguel. Javi Benitez, thank you for your time.
Maraming salamat po.
And that's On Point. I'm Willard Cheng. Thank you for watching.